Hello,
Hi.
everyone. You're welcome to the Farmalat podcast, and my
Yeah.
name is Bolanle, and I have here with me.
Chisholm Gabriela Namdi.
So, Chisum, what are we celebrating today?
Oh, today is National World Environmental Day.
So, it feels very great to be doing this, celebrating the World Environment Day with everyone.
Yeah.
We're celebrating it both at the local, national, and the global level,
Yeah.
and we know that today is what the theme for the World Environment Day is beat plastics. But we here at Farmalat will be bringing to you how World Environment Day interconnects with animals,
Yeah.
and we're going to tell you the basics you need to know.
Like how animals affect the environment, how they help us in the ecosystem and all. Okay, should I start or Dr. Bola, you give them first?
Yeah, we're not going to be doing this alone. We're going to
Yeah,
be
that's
doing
true.
it with two veterinarians
Yeah.
who know about animals and how animals are known to be beneficial to the environment.
Yeah.
But shortly before I bring in these veterinarians, I'd like to give you some brief facts. These facts are it's something that is accredited because did you ever in your wildest dreams think that it takes up to 1,000 years for plastics to be broken down?
Wow.
1,000 years. Like
1,000
it
years.
takes a whole of 10, 10 decades
Like a whole lot of effort must have
to
would go into
yeah
this
to
thing.
break down, and it takes a very long time, and by the time this is done, humans and even animals, they they come down with dangers from this plastic breakdown.
Yeah,
And the one way we can try to dissolve this pollution is to take care of our environment, and by
better.
taking care of our environment, take care of our humans, and
Yeah,
we also take care of our animals.
animals. Yeah,
So today we'll be talking to you about some animals which are known to be beneficial
to humans and
to
also to the
humans. So
environment.
before we bring in the vet, Gabrielle will tell us about
Certain
animals who
animals.
certain animals who are beneficial and how they are
Yeah.
beneficial. Don't forget to
Okay.
stay tuned.
Okay. First off, guys, do you know that birds are also very, very important to the environment? Very, very important. I personally did not know that until while doing the research for today's podcast. Yes, and bees are very important because they help in the pollination system,
Oh,
and it beats everything I've ever thought about. Like realizing it was like boom, that kind of realization. So do animals like elephants help in the creation of water source for other animals because during drought they are the ones to help
wow.
in searching and digging out water levels.
Who could have known
Who,
that
who,
elephants could be
I never knew.
like I just imagine them to be big animals, but
That just stay there.
making helping out during droughts.
It's something that's very, very important. And the painful thing is that some of these animals are actually going extinct because people feel like it's just an animal, just kill them. But they actually help out in no small way. They actually do a whole lot for us as humans, for environment at large. So we need to be careful and watch out. And yeah, so we're celebrating today's
World
World
Environment
Environmental Day.
Day.
We need to, look forward to it and not just be all, carefree about it. Be
So,
intentional.
so other animals that we took note of is the popular earthworm. Most of
Hmm.
you know about earthworms, and from research, earthworms are known to be very good for soil health. They
Yeah.
contribute heavily to aeration, infiltration,
Yeah.
structure,
Yeah.
nutrient cycle, water movement, and even plant growth.
Yeah.
So you don't just see earthworms and you just. I know people, somebody watching this thing who use salt to kill earthworms.
That's me.
Please avoid it because earthworms are very
That's
necessary
me.
for the environment. And as we're
Yeah.
celebrating this World Environment Day, we need to remind you that earthworms, birds,
Yeah.
elephants
And also,
should
let me say this thing. Who knew that bats are actually very important too?
bats,
Like bats of
black
all
bats.
of all creatures, bats. But yes, bats are natural pesticides and they're very helpful. They help in maintaining the insect population. Can you imagine?
So Bats are also very useful to the
Yeah,
environment.
yeah.
Another animal that caught our notice was the squirrel.
Hmm.
Squirrel are known to be nature's gardeners.
Wow.
They help to maintain, they help to provide nutrient, like they help to garden our environment, make sure that
Yeah,
everything is in order. So
yeah.
the activities help to expand the forest,
Hmm.
helps to alter the makeup of plant species. So
Yeah.
try in as much as possible not to kill squirrels. We'll soon be bringing in our guest, and I'm sure she's ready to come on board. Her name is Dr. Nancy. She's going to tell us how animals have been beneficial to the environment. So, Dr. Nancy, you're
Welcome.
welcome. Can you just tell us
Hey,
what you do? Like, just tell everyone what you do and tell us how animals have been beneficial to the environment.
hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Dr.
Morning.
Nancy. I'm a veterinarian, actually. So today is World Environmental Day, and I think everybody understands what environment means, actually. So it's literally the surrounding where we found ourselves, both humans, animals, plants, and all. So it's actually an important day, and I am coming in on the animals part. So, as a veterinarian, we deal with a lot of animals, but then the humans most of the time don't see them as important. So, it's on a day like this that we come out to actually say that animals are important.
That's
So
really nice.
they help to maintain a whole lot of insect population that should have been harmful to the environment. Um, so you see that this some of these animals actually feed on some insects that on a normal day should be harmful to the environment. So by doing this, they are helping the environment. So we also have the wildlife. So sometimes or most times you actually see that people just go into the bush and then they kill animals because according to them it's
Yeah.
all animals are supposed to be food. So but those animals, the wildlife animals now are actually important because they take up some of the diseases that should be affecting humans and then reducing the human population. So, but when they take up some of the animals that serve as reservoirs and then they eat them up and then they remain, they're just reducing the diseases that should actually be affecting humans. So by so doing, the animals are actually helping the humans even live longer. But then, the humans don't see it that way. They just see that animals are harmful and then they should be killed, eaten, and maybe burnt and then thrown away. So I think all population matter. So for me, I'm just saying that animals should be allowed to live, celebrate them, and most times, we actually have some of them as companion animals. So when they're
Yeah,
around
true.
us, they still do a lot of things for us in the environment as companion animals. So they deserve equal rights in our environment, and that is that.
Thank you so much. I really love what you've said and really appreciate, and we're going to check back on you. But before we keep on telling people about what the World Environment Day and how animals have been beneficial, we'll be bringing in our second guest,
Yeah.
that is Dr. Esther, and I'm sure she has something to say on how
Precious.
animals have been very beneficial to the environment.
Environment. Yeah.
Welcome on board, Dr. Esther.
Hi,
Welcome.
good morning. Sorry, good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Yes.
Yes.
My name is Dr. Esther, and I am a veterinarian.
Okay.
Today is World Environment Day, and we know how important animals have been to the environment at large. So, just like you said, even earthworms have their use to help plants grow, and then plants
Yeah.
grows to help humans feed better. So, I think for every human out there, you owe a responsibility to these animals because they have helped the environment be stable, be well, I say breathable for all of us to live in. So yes, every animal is important. As a vet as I am, I really don't like war vehicles, yeah. So reptiles are really not my thing. but I know reptiles have an importance to the environment at large,
Yeah,
and
true,
they
very true.
also, yes, they also have um they play an important role in the ecosystem to ensure that the niche that is terrestrial, that is Earth, still functions as it should. So every animal, every insect, every reptile has a function to the environment at large. Now, I'm sure Farmalat is familiar with the One Health initiative. That is something you could do very well. And I understand that for One Health, it is animal, humans, and the environment itself. So this day is very important for us as human medics and as veterinarians to ensure that we do our part to make the environment a better place for all of us to live in.
Thank you so much. Well said.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just you really opened our minds, and thank you for also giving us this advice to
Mm-hmm.
take up that initiative. And I'm sure that we'll pick it up and we'll learn something new. So thank you so much for joining us at
Thank
a
you.
short
Thank you
notice,
so
and
much for having me.
have a well structured Happy World Vet Day.
Yeah.
Bye.
You too. Do that. Bye bye.
Okay, so you can just still stay in the show so that if we have questions, we can
Bolanle.
get. So now, I don't know why she mentioned my name. So now, before we continue to tell you about the animals that have helped, I'd like to tell you what the United Nations have said about
Animals.
World Environment Day.
Yeah.
It was said to be found in 1972 to increase the public awareness of environmental challenges and encourage action. So this little thing we are doing today is like a call to action for people to know.
To actually know that animals are important. As you said, we all hate wild geckos. I personally don't like certain animals. No offense, but I personally don't like certain animals. But even at that, you have to realize and keep yourself in check and know that certain animals are important. So even if you have that urge to like kill them, roast them, burn them,
You should know
destroy
that
their
they are
lineage,
still very
just
necessary
know
for
that they are
the.
very important and they are still necessary for the environment to go on successfully. So if you have questions, guys, you have questions you want to ask,
You can
contributions,
put it in the chat
yeah,
in the comment box,
don't
and we're
forget.
ready to.
We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think about the whole environmental day. We want to know what you think about each animals. What animal do you think shouldn't exist at all? Because I'm sure Dr. Bola has animals in her mind like, I hate this animal
For
at some
example,
point.
you'll be surprised. Rats,
Like, yeah,
black rat is also very
very
important.
important. Who knew that? Like,
Let me just give you some of the things that they could help to do.
yeah,
They can help to sniff out landmines. Like
yeah.
how
I can
how like you can't even imagine that
how like
you can what common rat can help.
ordinary rat. That
So
rat you chase around your house. The rat you bind and cast whenever you see it is actually very helpful in the environment. So let's try our possible best to. Yeah, I know there are certain animals, and me personally, if I have my way, I would say mosquitoes shouldn't be,
but they're also
but they're
necessary. I
actually
see
very
one question
necessary.
here. Someone is asking about how vultures are important to the ecosystem. Yes, vulture is very important in as much as vultures could be scavengers, they
Yeah,
could also be very necessary for the environment because they play they help to play very important use in keeping the environment healthy and
and
help to
clean.
prevent certain disease spread.
Yeah,
Trust me, maybe in the next podcast, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to
and
tell you all about vultures because
yeah,
I will not I will not want a situation whereby after this podcast you are in your head, you don't know about vultures. So I'm going to make it a topic on
on
its
its
own how
own.
vultures could be
Yeah, maybe our next show,
important
our next
and the
podcast
kind of
rather.
diseases that
That
they could help spread.
yeah, that's true.
Today is World Environment Day. We're not going to bore you with
The
a
whole
certain species of animal. We're going to
focus and
focus
on the main thing.
on the main thing. And don't forget, the theme of today's World Environment Day is eat plastics to death. And
Yeah,
animals, they sometimes come in contact with plastics. And this is just a call to action.
yeah.
This is a call to action.
Okay.
So someone is asking, is any animal satanic? This person just killed me. No.
But there are certain, and I just said it before, that there are certain animals deep down. I'm like, I think this animal, like, I'm like, why is this animal? Like, what are you even doing? It's not satanic.
Example, I used to think bats are satanic. Even cats, but
At some
it's not
point,
true. They are not
they are not
satanic.
satanic. They're just there. The things why you feel maybe you hate them is because they do certain things to you, or because you don't like the way they look.
Or you don't know about it. If you
Yeah.
stay Trust me, if you stay tuned to this podcast, every week we're going to tell you about a certain animal that's
That you think is satanic, that is actually not
not
satanic.
satanic and they're just very peaceful. Someone is
Yeah.
asking, is there any animal that can digest a disease without effects? Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you're a vet, but let me just try and say it in a layman's language. There are some animals that let me use let me use bats for example. They
Yeah.
show they have this disease in their body, but they do not show the signs.
Um,
Yes, until
yeah.
they transfer this disease
To
to
the human being.
someone else before you actually know. So they don't
Wow.
actually digest the disease. The
It's just
disease
there,
stays in their bodies. We can't call it digest.
so to say.
So that's it. So Gabby, I don't know if you have any other thing you want to tell them about the World Environment Day.
Basically, what I'll say is, it just dawned on me while we're talking now and making the whole research for this podcast. As that person said, no animal is actually satanic. There are certain animals at some point, I felt like there's no use for you. Why were you created exactly? Truth be told, at some point I felt like, what is snake for? But there are actually certain things that can't work, or else those animals are involved. For example, mosquito has its own use. It's important in its own way.
Yeah.
Nobody should drag me
They
for
try to
anything.
balance the ecosystem.
Yes, and the almighty bat we're all hitting against is also very important for
For
the
the
environment
ecosystem.
and for the ecosystem at large. So elephants, vultures, name it, whatever,
Beavers,
all of, yeah, beavers too,
squirrels,
squirrels, snails, just name it.
everything is
Everything, they are all
important.
important.
Don't forget, today is World Environment Day. Try to keep your environment safe.
Yeah.
In as much as today is not world, try not to defecate in places in keep the environment clean.
Yes,
Don't
please
urinate everywhere. Don't litter.
don't mess up places.
Keep the environment.
Yes, and don't throw waste outside. There are sometimes when people actually, you see people that actually, dispose their waste on the road. I'm like, seriously? Please, you're saying it today. Don't do that.
Let's keep our environment
Yeah,
clean.
let's
So
take
till next time, I remain my humble self, Dr. Bolanle,
my humble self, Gabriela Chisominandi.
and I won't leave here without thanking Dr. Nancy and Dr. Esther.
Yes.
Till next time.
See you guys. Stay tuned.
Bye.